Welcome to another episode of Shit Hotels of Australia, where we travel the country staying in hotels and hope that they're not shit, but sadly too many of them are. Tonight I'm in Gladstone, staying at the Gladstone Palms Motor Inn with a licensed bar and restaurant. So let's go inside and check out the room. This is room 104, the Gladstone Palms Motor Inn. And looks a bit tired. Got a place to store your luggage, fridge, toaster, kettle, lounge, aircon, dining table with microwave placed on the dining table, interesting. TV. And the dulcet tones of a Yamaha R6, right next to the Dawson Highway. Queen size bed. A few dings obviously already. And bathroom, where we have a reasonably large shower. And toilet basin. No plug, I need to shave tomorrow. Yeah, it's adequate. It's a bit tired, but I need somewhere to sleep after driving for 7 hours. Pool doesn't exactly look inviting, does it? Now, they did say that there is a laundry here, but it costs $10 to wash and dry. And you've got to pay it at the reception. So I haven't actually been able to find the laundry, but I won't be using it. I'm guessing these hot water cylinders are for all of this block. So it'll be interesting to see how long it takes for the hot water to actually get through in the shower in the morning. So now let's check out the TV. Hisense TV. That's the list. It's so freaking dark in here, I can't actually see the remote. So what I'm going to do is I'll walk around into the bathroom so I can see what the things on the remote are. Find the exit button. Okay. Find the program guide. Here we go. And we can walk back to the TV now that we can see, and we'll see what we've got. We've got the free-to-airs. In fact, we don't have many free-to-airs. We've got ABC, SBS, and that's it. So it's got no 7, no 9, no 10, and definitely it's not a smart TV. At least it's got the two free-to-air channels that I actually watch, ABC and SBS. But I think maybe I'll just be watching the news tonight, and that's it. Gladstone Coal Exporters Maritime Precinct. They love their coal. About 15 years ago I was offered a job here in Gladstone. We've been sailing up at Airlie Beach Race Week, and where I've driven from today, and the guy who we were competing against was recruiting coxswains to drive boats transporting workers out to the new coal and gas terminals. The salary was $180,000 a year, and it was 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So I thought, yeah, bugger it, I'll do that. And another one of my crew members also had a coxswain's ticket. He thought, yeah, bugger it, we'll do that too. And then we looked at the price of accommodation, and it was so ridiculously expensive at the height of the boom that we thought, oh no, we can't really do this. And then my mate had a brilliant idea. He's got a 37-foot boat in Hobart, and so he thought, all right, bring the boat up, we'll put it in the marina, and he'd sleep on it for 2 weeks and then fly back to Tas, and I'd fly up and sleep on it for 2 weeks and do that. And so it was all sorted, and then when we got back to Tas to get everything sorted to do it, he found out that his wife was pregnant. bugger. So this is the first time I've ever been to Gladstone. So the guy who was recruiting for the coxswain's jobs was sailing on a boat out of this yacht club, Port Curtis Sailing Club, also known as the Gladstone Yacht Club. And coincidentally, the boat was a Far 30, and the hotel I'm staying at tonight, Gladstone Palms, is on 30 Far Street. Yeah, coincidence. Anyway, and I sailed with that guy on that same boat 5 years prior to that. I was actually going to have dinner here tonight, but I looked at the prices online and it's a little bit exy and it's a little bit out of the way, so I might just go to the supermarket and get some bread and dips, I think. Well, I found one temporary solution to the light problem. Open up the microwave. So let's check out the Wi-Fi. Now, I have been browsing the internet, but I did notice it looked a little bit slow. So if you have a look at the top of the screen, you can see, even though we are essentially directly across from reception, I've got about 2 bars of reception of Wi-Fi. And so let's just see whether we can watch some Netflix. Well, it seems to stream. We'll see how we go. And now for the shit hotels of Australia instant coffee test. We have Nescafe, a cut above. Expiry, June 2027. Won't be drinking it because I've got the coffee machine. Because that would really give you the shits, wouldn't it? So let's check out some upkeep issues. And the first one, which should be fairly obvious, is the fact that there is virtually no lights. There is the 2 bedside lights. There is the light in the bathroom, which is the most well lit. There's this one light hidden away behind the wardrobe. And then there's this, which is really giving me the irrits. So let's see if we've got enough light to check out some of the other upkeep issues. First up, we've got a ding down there. We've got some like burn marks in the carpet. Some rather large dings which haven't even looked like being mended. Curtains a little bit loose. We do have an outside. What else do we have? This is one which really gives me the irrits, apart from all the scratches around here. And if we get any wind, so I reckon I will get some cardboard and wedge that door closed. Then we go into the bathroom. We have a large ding in the door that looks like someone's punched it. And the shower, yeah, grotty. And further to the upkeep issues, always look up. Those rust spots come through the ceiling. But I have fixed the door, so if we get any wind during the night, it should be okay. And also, again, here we're in Gladstone. We are an hour or so south of Rockhampton, and all we get is a sheet. So I've had to grab the blanket out of the cupboard. I mean, we are shooting this in the last week of August, so it's still not warm by any means during the evening. And the other glaring uptake issue is this sign. Licensed bar and restaurant, except it's closed until further notice. Seem to be picking it, don't I? It's the 3rd motel on this trip which is supposed to have a restaurant but doesn't. Irony of irony. Help us save the environment. At the Palms Motor Inn, we care about the environment to assist us in our quest to be more environmentally friendly. More environmentally friendly in one of the largest coal export ports in the world? I don't think so.
The next morning.
Oh, the irony. Not enough light last night when it was dark, and then the curtains don't actually close, so too light when it's light. And now it's time for the pirate score.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of. But you have heard of me.
So, how did the Gladstone Palms rack up against the pirate score? First up, cleanliness and upkeep. Well, there's the issue with the lights, that door, the blinds that didn't close, the rust things on the ceiling, blatant dings in the wall, and the sign that they didn't bother to replace. So, for cleanliness and upkeep, 2 stars. Facilities, well, it had them, if you could excuse the layout, like the microwave on the dinner table. It had plates, it had cutlery. So facilities, middle of the road, 3 stars. Add-ons. Why continue to advertise a restaurant when it's clearly been closed for a very long time? It had a pool, and it wasn't a particularly inviting pool, and apparently it had a laundry. But really, that restaurant, not good enough. 1 star. Entertainment and Wi-Fi. Well, it had all of the 2 channels on the TV, didn't it? The fact that the TV was up at such an angle that by the time you looked at it, the colour was completely washed out and it was like watching a silhouette show, and the Wi-Fi that constantly dropped out such that we couldn't even watch YouTube. So entertainment and Wi-Fi, 1 star. Bed and bath. Okay, so the bed was comfortable, the blanket was warm enough, it wasn't humid, and it wasn't too cold last night. The bathroom was adequate, shower was a bit dodgy, the water pressure was actually good, no plug in the bath, but middle of the road for bed and bath, 3 stars. Service. Now, this is an interesting one, and please excuse me, I don't mean to be actually disrespectful here, but when I checked in, there was a young guy, maybe about 19, who went, "Ooh," and I said, "I'd like to check in." And he went, "Ooh," and he walked over, got a key, said, "There you go." Now, I suspect that he was neurodivergent, so I'm not going to lay the blame at him, but he clearly doesn't own this place. So for the management to put someone with no skills whatsoever in interacting with paying guests, sorry, that's really not good enough. So for service, 1 star. Value for money. Well, it is only $99 a night, and basically you got what you'd expect to pay for $99 a night. So it's not exceptional value, so unfortunately it doesn't score the value for money bonus. And as you can hear in the background, the traffic from the Dawson Highway right outside the window, no, it doesn't get the earplug bonus either. So that's a total for the Gladstone Palms Motel of 11 out of 30. And sadly, it is one of the shit hotels of Australia. So if you enjoyed this video, please click like, please subscribe, and we'll see you 600 plus Ks down the road for another motel that hopefully is not one of the shit hotels of Australia. Thanks for watching. But it does have a light outside, just where you don't need it. And an interesting upkeep issue. Gotta love that downpipe.